Hello guys, welcome to the video tutorial of reading comprehension practice. So in these video tutorials we are gonna cover the complicated reading comprehension passages, and in this video tutorial we are gonna look into one question which has one paragraph which has about three questions. So this is the second question, this is the third question. So let's begin solving this problem. So the first question is, in the expression, one hardly sees the wood for the trees, the author apparently intends the word trees to be analogous to. So, expression, this is the expression, and this expression defines like one hardly sees wood for the trees. So, it means that one hardly sees the in depth details, uh, they just see the surface details. So, trees can be referred to as the surface, whereas the wood we can call to the inner details of the story. So in this question, the tree represents the outer details, or just the overall details, rather than the in-depth analysis of the question. So we need to find such a phrase or sentence or word to which matches the trees. So let's read the passage. Should we really care for the greatest actors of the past? Could we have them before us? So the writer is asking the question, and he's talking about the greatest actors, and can we actually have them before us? So he's continuing saying that should we find them too different from our accent of thought, of feeling, of speech in 1,000 minute particulars, which are the essence of all three. So all three is representing the trees. So writer is comparing the actors with us in the manner of thought, feeling, and speech. So let's continue. Dr. Doran's long and interesting records of the triumphs of Garrick. So Dr. Doran had written a long and interesting record of the triumphs of Garrick and other less familiar but in their day hardly less astonishing players. And the writer has written, do not relieve one of the doubts. So Dr. Doran's long interesting records do not relieve one of the doubts. So Garrick himself, as sometimes happens with people who have been the subject of mock anecdote and other conversation. So Garrick himself. So Garrick himself, this is his details. So he has been uh, with he's a person who have been like subject of much anecdote and other conversation. So he's a person who tries to have conversation or a lot. Here, as elsewhere, bears no very distinct figure. So Garrick himself bears no very distinct figure. The writer is trying to tell that, and he's describing Garrick is subject of anecdote and other conversation. One hardly sees the wood for the tree. So we found our word, our phrase, expression, as the question calls it. On the other hand, so on the other hand, like represent this question is completely this. I mean, this nature of the paragraph is changing. This will now represent a different sort of detail. So we need to like find an answer in this paragraph, in this sentences. So this just defining the actors and comparing them with us, and this apparently should contain the answer, because this is also story and the background story of, and this is completely a different aspect of the paragraph. So Dr. Doran's long and interesting records of crimes of Garrick. So he's talking about Garrick and other astonishing players. So what do we see from the surface? Like what details we don't see in this paragraph or sentences. So what are the surface details? So trees are the surface details, and wood is like the bigger details, like complete, entire, or bit to bit analysis of the paragraph. So features of Doran's language style. So is this summary of summary, or that's the surface details of the paragraph. So features of Doran's language style. There is nowhere being talked about like the language style of Doran, so it shouldn't be the answer because in nowhere he's talking about like how Doran's like writes his details, so this shouldn't be our answer. Details learned from oral sources. So oral sources means like we have seen the word like communication and anecdote. These mean like conversation and oral sources. So Garrick and sometimes happens to people who have been subject of much other conversation. So Garrick is a person who have like a lot of conversation with people. So the details learned from oral sources. Like we learned about Garrick based from oral sources. So this may be the answer because we were meaning to find like the surface details, like the details from oral sources. They can be like surface details. So let's read further. Personality of the famous actor, and this shouldn't be like the trees because this doesn't define even the details. Like personality doesn't even define like what the wood actually means. So details of Garrick's life. So this actually represents the entire details of Garrick's life. So we need to like find each and every aspect of who Garrick is, and so this shouldn't be the answer because it will tell us the wood part of the question because details of entire Garrick's life is like the detailed picture rather than the surface picture. So this should be the wood rather than the trees. Stage triumphs of an astonishing player. So can this represent like the surface details? Stage triumphs of astonishing players. So it's mostly in this paragraph is talking about like Garrick, and it's not fully talking about like other astonishing players as well. So this triumphs, like there's nothing being talked about triumphs, so this cannot be like the subject details. So this looks like the better answer to the question. Details from powerful sources. So like the trees can be like the surface details which you learned from the other sources. So this should definitely be the answer. So let's continue to the next question.